Check, 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 check.
Warning, a new special marine warning has been issued.
All right, that should be good. Wow, that was frustrating. Got some lag on weather-wise, too.
New information.
Hmm.
Severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
New information.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Wall cloud in South Jersey? Probably one of these.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Oh, did they make it so you can do 15 seconds on here?
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Yeah, they made 15 scans. Interesting. 10's enough. Yeah, you got this big. This is starting to shape up to look like kind of a bow echo with some wind. I don't think we have anything major going on right now, though. 60 mile per hour, 60 mile per hour, 60 mile per hour, 60 mile per hour, 60 mile per hour. What's here? Nothing. Ping pong ball size hail. Not bad size. Yeah, inch and a half. Moving through Rapid City. Yeah, nothing major going on. Nothing major going on. It's thunderstorming where I am. Have they upped this? Yeah, I mean, it's been at a 30% for a while. Kind of want to see what's going on.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
I'm torn. Do we get something spinning up here? We've got our trough like this, pulling down this air. So it's interesting. Do we get this to spin up, or do we get this to spin up?
This considerable severe thunderstorm.
Oh, considerable severe thunderstorm warning. All right, we'll check that out. We will check that out. Let's see. Where did we get? We've got observed flash flooding up there as well. Flash flood warnings everywhere. Where did we get our considerable thunderstorm warning? Let's see. Yeah, I got it working. There's been so many issues. It's frustrating. It's just a lot of software issues. Yeah, it was nothing hardware. All right, Southern Mississippi. Let's see if I remember how to live stream. I feel like I don't live stream anymore because of all the issues I've been having. Southern Mississippi, Gulfport, Biloxi, 70 plus mile per hour gusts have been recorded, or it's radar indicated an inch hail. So don't look too threatening, but you know, there's some lightning in there too. You can see all those little dots. That's all lightning. I don't even like how plus looks. Standard. There you go. There's your lightning. Other than that, these are all general thunderstorm warnings. So, definitely some nice action up here to the north, or in the mid-Atlantic again. Severe thunderstorm warning up in Massachusetts as well. This stuff's moving out to the east. This is going to approach Boston later tonight. Greensboro, North Carolina, anything severe? I don't think so. You guys got some stuff out to your west. You could get some. You could get some of this pushing in later. You know, the most severe is expected to be to the north, the damaging wind, but you do have a severe thunderstorm out to your west, 60 plus mile per hour gust potentially in there. So let's look at our velocities. Doesn't look too threatening to me. Some higher velocities up here in these storms. Florida's going to experience a ton of rainfall coming up here. That's the only thing I'd be worried about in Florida. Let's take a look at... There we go.
This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Look at Tampa today. Ready? Look at tomorrow. Then we get into day 3. So if we do our... Let's do this. Multi-day. Let's do 1 to 5. Look at Florida. Tons of rainfall. We could be talking about 7-8 inches locally for some of these areas, especially out here on the west coast. Over in the next really 4 days, I'd say. You came from Evan. What's going on? What is going on? I need to get back in contact with Evan. I was out of town and then I came back and then he had like voice issues. I guess he had lost his voice, and so been kind of back and forth. Will it weaken? What well, we don't have anything developed here. We've got a 30% chance from the NHC for tropical development. We can take a look at Pivotal Weather and see what our latest models are showing. So let's go here. Oh wow. Oh, is he still not able? Is he still not streaming today? I think I saw him get on the other day. Okay, so the latest GFS does try to get at least like a tropical depression potentially going here. It's trying to get a low in 2 areas though, which is interesting. It's trying to get a low right here in the northeastern Gulf. That's too big. 1 second. They changed my brush size. That's better. Trying to get, we could have a low develop in the northeastern Gulf. We could also have one develop out here in the Western Atlantic, move up into the Carolinas. Neither of them, and the GFS can be a little bullish. Neither of them looks, you know, the GFS doesn't really like the odds of either of them. Euro as well. Maybe we get tropical cyclogenesis into like a depression. I don't know. But this is a quiet start to hurricane season. I don't know if we get anything out of this. We can look at a couple more models. Sometimes the icon sees some things. Yeah, you can see the Canadians kind of maybe trying to put a tropical storm out into eastern North Carolina. Still not seeing much on that. We can take a look at the let's take a look at the icon again. Maybe it tries to get a tropical storm into South Carolina, but I don't even think we're gonna see that. Like, look at this. It's just not there. Yeah, which is good. So, I don't really think we have too much to worry about there, but we'll watch it. The thing is, really quickly before I get back to the severe weather, the thing is, though, this is what's going on out here. This is what I'm talking about. We've had so much upwelling and cooling, although, through this region, which is really good for us right now. But, I mean, still, look at the Western Atlantic. If this low starts to spin out here, it's going to have plenty of fuel. I think there's an issue with shear over the top. We have a trough here that's going to be... Our trough is kind of shaped like this. It's trying to form within the trough, and this trough is going to move out to the east and shear it off, I think. But this is very warm water. You could get a rapid intensification into a hurricane. I'd give it like a 2% shot that actually happens. If it does get the spin, if it does There's not really much dry air it's going to pull in. If it can get itself organized and at least somewhat closed off, you could see a quick intensification into a tropical storm or hurricane and it move into the Carolinas. Not very likely. I think what's most likely to happen is it enters the Carolinas as maybe at most a tropical depression, which is basically like a severe thunderstorm warning. I mean, a severe thunderstorm. So it's more likely to dissipate and just be a rainmaker. Yeah, I think so. Man, TikTok really doesn't like that I had to take some time off. I've got 15 viewers. I'm usually at like 100, 200. I mean, on bad severe weather days, it's much higher than that, but I'm being punished. They like when you post every day and stream every day. They reward you for it. And if you miss, This happened last time I had to take a break from streaming. I came back and my first week was like really bad. I couldn't get any viewers. What's going on, Mezzo? What's going on, Matt? Yeah, Matt, TikTok's punishing me for missing posting and streaming. No problem, Marley. No problem. You want to check the climate analyzer, Eden, in the main development region?
New information. This flash
Yeah. YouTube kind of does it, but especially TikTok, I notice when I come back after not posting or streaming, it's really tough to get viewers. That's how they force you to literally have to do it full time. Sea surface temperature. Here we go. Look how cold we are. Here you go. Look how cold we are.
Warning, a new special marine warning.
In our main development region of the Atlantic. I mean, we're practically average. We're practically average. This was last year, by the way. This was last year. So, the Caribbean's also cold right now. The Gulf is cold. Look at the Gulf. The Gulf's around average right now, too. This happened at the same time last year, though, where we saw this dip down. The Gulf's, oh, that's the Gulf of Maine. Okay, so there we go. Okay, well, it's cool. This is cooler, or cooling down anyways. Gulf of America / Mexico. Yeah, so I mean, we've had a lot of seasons that the Gulf's had some upwelling. Let's take a look.
New information. This special marine warning has been updated.
You can see we're in a neutral. I mean, look at the Nino 3 and 4 region, or as they call it, the area in between Nino 3 and Nino 4 is called the Nino 3.4, but it's just the combination of the two. We're average. Sitting in an Enzo neutral. That's not the only thing that decides if we're in an Enzo neutral or not, but it's a pretty important factor. Everything's pretty cool. Look at last. I mean, even the MDR, the Atlantic MDR main development region, and the North Atlantic, and look how cool everything is compared to last year. After having a relatively cold winter too. Hey, listen, I read that article that the ozone has been actually healing itself, and that over this last year, more ice has developed. We actually saw a huge gain of ice in Antarctica, and I wonder if this is a temporary shift back to a little bit of a cooler pattern for our oceans and air, or if this is just 4 months from now, everything's going to be, steaming up again. We'll see. But oceans are a big tell on what we're going to see moving forward, because the air warms and cools much faster than water does. So when water start to trend cooler, especially much cooler than it was last year, that water takes a long time to warm back up. The air can, get hot and cold like that in a day, but the oceans take a very, very long time. So it's kind of we're in a little bit of a cooling trend all around. So it's interesting. I got to look a little bit more into the climatology of this and see what's going on. You know, there's been the talk of the ozone layer's been looking really good recently, and the gain of ice that we've seen. So it's just a positive sign. Laddie, what's going on? Hugh, what's going on? But a year span, or even a 6 months to a year span in climatology is like a blink of an eye. It's not really that telling. It could just be a little, you know, little jot in the graph. What's causing the cooling? Now, you know, our atmosphere just, it could have something to do with, I don't know. I don't think it's any. I don't think we're actually going to start entering some crazy cooling trend. I think this is just a temporary thing. You know, the atmosphere warms up. It corrects itself. It cools back. When it gets too cool, it has mechanisms to correct itself and get back to normal. It's constantly trying to get back to that equilibrium. And I think we're just, you know, it's just another dip in the graph.
This considerable severe thunderstorm warning.
What's going on, Yali? Appreciate you, Yali.
A new severe thunderstorm warning.
Anyways, let's take another look at what's going on with our storms. Oh yeah, I forgot you're going away, Matt. Yeah, you can send everyone to me. Really quickly, these are all general thunderstorm warnings out here. 60 mile per hour, 60 mile per hour, 60 mile per hour. Nothing really to worry about, guys. I mean, this can knock out power. But if you're inside, you should be fine. We have a wind threat out here today. Pretty much an unexistent tornado threat. Did they even end up giving one? I don't think they did. There's no tornado threat. Do we even have a hail threat? Maybe out here? Yeah, we have a hail threat out there. So I'm surprised with the hail threat. There's no tornado threat, but obviously there's no rotation expected. So updrafts without shear don't really do anything. You need both of them.
This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Yeah, not much going on. Not much going on. Pretty average storms right now. I use both. I use this app and Radar Omega. They both do good things, you know. I like all the radar options on Radar Omega. Like, look at this. This is our long wave infrared, clean infrared. You've got your low level. You've got your water vapor, low level, mid level, and upper level water vapor, which is really cool, especially during hurricane season. You can really see if it's getting an injection of dry air or not, which can help you determine whether it's going to strengthen or whether it's going to weaken. You know, the velocities on Radar Omega are better. So if I go to single site radar and I'm like looking at a storm, want to see if there's a tornado somewhere in here, you got high res velocity, you've got base velocity, you've got storm relative velocity. So you've got so many features that weather-wise doesn't have, but weather-wise runs smoother. Its actual reflectivity is really good. It has one velocity, but the one velocity is pretty clean. It's a pretty clean velocity. It just runs. It doesn't have as many bugs. Like Radar Omega, when there's a big weather event going on, it's always crashing. Like, I don't know what's going on with their servers, but it's gotten super popular. It's the most popular radar app. I'm pretty positive, and because of that, yeah, it can get a little buggy. So when I'm looking at reflectivity and just severe weather and stuff, a lot of times I'll stick on weather-wise, but they both do good things. I mean, you can't even see models on weather-wise. You can see models. Like, I can pull up the HRRR in 2 seconds on Radar Omega, and then I can see, okay, what's the rest of the night going to look like? And I can look at the model, see? So that's cool. They both do good things. You can get them, but you can use them both for free too. You can purchase them or pay a monthly fee, which is like really cheap. It's like $7 to $10 or whatever, but you don't really need those extra features. What's going on, babe? Some other YouTubers say that the wind in the Atlantic pick up, so that's what's causing the cooling. You think so? Potentially. Let's take a look at what's going on out here. Wind.
A new severe thunderstorm.
Wind can cause cooler waters. I mean, that's what kind of there. It's not confirmed, but there's kind of the thought that we still fully don't understand Enso cycles. There hasn't been a consensus that's there hasn't been a consensus on whether it's more to do with the trade winds or it's more to do with let's say I'm doing something while I'm talking. Oops. There hasn't been a consensus of if it's more to do with the trade winds over the Pacific or the ocean currents that has a larger effect or a greater effect on our ENSO cycle. There's an argument with that in the meteorological community, climatology community. So it's a little bit not understood. I mean, we really just started understanding about the MJO only like 20 something years ago. So that's pretty new as well. There's a lot of unknowns. Our winds are pretty strong out here. Let me show you. Yeah. Our winds are pretty strong out here right now. Obviously, as you can see in the Eastern Atlantic, this is kind of the MDR. I'll pull up my my pen. So, you know, as your winds pick up, they're pulling that warm surface water and they're pushing it out to the west. The issue I have with that is the waters out here are cold. So, where is it pushing this warm water? I don't know if it has to do with the winds. The waters out here have been cold since the start of the season. You would typically see a hotter Caribbean and Western Atlantic. Well, I guess you do. The water up here is very hot. This typically is related to our Gulf Stream, though. At least near the shore, it's related to our Gulf Stream. So I'd have to look a little bit more into it. But the waters out here have been very, very cold throughout most of the season. Or most of the year, including through the start of hurricane season. So I think they're lagging a little bit behind. I think they're going to catch back up just fine. But, yeah, that is what triggers colder waters in the Pacific and has a pretty big effect on our ENSO. Is you've got those trade winds that pick up and they pull all this warm surface water and they push it out to the west. And what happens when that happens, you enter a La Nina, so the water is cooler out here. And when the water's cooler out here, you don't have as much shear or convection. So your chance for storms out here are lessened in a La Nina. Also, if you do get storms, they're more likely to be sheared apart. Or they're less likely to be sheared apart. So it's, again, though, there's a lot of climatologists who say the trade winds picking up have nothing to do with the ENSO. It's all about ocean currents, underwater ocean currents that we don't understand. There's like a whole argument about that. I think it's a combination of the two. I think that's the general consensus, is it's a combination of ocean currents and trade winds.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Connor's Corny Climate Corner. I still haven't made a merch with that. Yeah, no, everything's better when it's wetter. That's the Connor's Corny Climate Corner's trademark. Everything's better when it's wetter.
This severe thunderstorm warning.
Or it's better when it's wetter. That's right. Moist. Close this bad boy out. Okay. Yeah, bunch of general thunderstorms going on, guys. I'm sorry I'm not covering this weather too much, but it's just, these are just annoying thunderstorms that can knock out some power. There's nothing crazy damage. I mean, taking a look at velocities, no super high cloud tops. I'm not seeing any hail cores in any of these. A little bit maybe, but not much. Gulfport down here, you do have this is a considerable damage threat, and this, yeah, this is still developing out here. So 70 plus mile per hour gusts through Gulfport, Biloxi, Bay, St. Louis, Pass Christian. These could do a little bit of damage to some trees and stuff, and knock some power out. So that's the one, I think, considerable storm we have right now.
New information. This severe thunderstorm.
And we've got some hail out here, inch and a half hail now. Like I said earlier, a lot of times you'll see at least a 2% tour risk associated with which is what we have right now, with a 10%. Yeah, with the 10% hail risk, 15%. Why was I saying that? 5, 15, 30, 45. With the 50% hail risk, you'll usually at least see a 2% tour risk, because with updrafts you know, if you have a 15% hail risk, you're going to have some strong updrafts expected, but clearly there's just no shear out. There's not enough rotation potential, sheer helicity. So just hail. We've got no Tor threat on the map today. I feel like it's been a while since I've seen 0 Tor threat. And if it weren't for out here, we'd have no hail threat too. Starts passing through Connecticut as we speak. Yeah, you guys just got the severe thunderstorm warning. 60-mile-per-hour winds, nothing too crazy. Potentially inch hail. Radar indicated you could have a hail core in here for sure. This is moving out to the east, northeast through Newington, Glastonbury, Manchester. So out towards Mansfield. Yep, this is through central Connecticut, moving up towards northeastern and eastern Connecticut. Nice little squall line setting up there. Okay, what are you guys talking about? Wait, what's Matt saying? Oh my god. All right, sorry. I just caught up, chat. Yeah, take Matt's phone. Everything he's saying is correct, though. What was that? Who said that? He no longer has his phone. I didn't see anything wrong. Yeehaw! Ride him, cowboy. I feel like there's a small chance I got that one. Brandon, what's going on? Ugh.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
Hey, guys, they added a moving okay, all this stuff needs to go away, but whatever. They added a moving satellite. Look at it. The satellite moves now. Look at that. Finally, about time. Look at that. Nice little hurricane out here in the Eastern Pacific. Yeah, can we switch this over to west? Ugh, west is terrible. Okay, we got to go east. It's in an awkward. This is in an awkward position.
Thunderstorm warning has been issued.
Oh, that's a nice one. That's actually a nice look too. Oh wow, they added everything to here. Okay. A lot of this is new. They've got infrared wow, and then they've got clean too. Oh wow. All right. Weatherwise trying to compete. They realize Radar Omega's having all these lagging issues, and they're like, hey, let's just add everything Radar Omega has so people will come over here. Really nice looking storm. I called this yesterday. I said, this thing's probably going to become a Cat 3. They still had it only becoming a major hurricane. Like, what's the issue? There's no shear. There's warm water. What's the issue? There's no dry air. Why is this thing only becoming a Cat 2? I think it could become a Cat. I think it could become a Cat 4. They're always underestimating these things. This is still interesting out here. Our setup, guys, is super weird. We've got like a weird trough that's like this right now. This is like our jet stream right now. Doing something weird like that. So you actually have some low-level winds that are actually pushing in this way. And then you have winds out here that are pushing out this way. It's very weird, and that's what's going to help us with our rotation here. Very weird setup. That's why we still have some storms down here moving. That's why we've had this for a few days. We've got storms up here moving this way, and we've still got storms down here going like this. Awkward setup. Look at that troughing. Very strange.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning.
Oh my god, he's on his PC? Oh, he donated? Thanks, Matt. Where's Connor based out of? Philly region. Philly. We'll call it Philly. I'm close. That's the closest major city to me. It's pretty close. You had me at moist blood. I did get it. I knew it.
This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
So are we getting rain out here soon, or are we staying dry? Let's just cheat. Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at our daily precipitation. None. None. Basically none. None. Let's take a look at our 1 to 5 day. Pretty much none. 1 to 7 day. No, that's not the 1 to 7 day. This is lagging.
New information. This severe thunderstorm.
Yeah, I mean, there's. You guys are looking dry. I gotta look at pivotal weather here because that doesn't even look right. Is it gonna be that dry down there? Look at our total quantitative precipitation. All right. Oh my gosh. I mean, this is almost 5 days out. It is 5-6 days out. 0 rainfall in here. I mean, you push all the way out to. This is like a week and a half, and you're expected to maybe get a half-inch of rain. Nice. Yeehaw, ride 'em, cowboy. Yeehaw, ride 'em, cowboy. Oh no, I 100% got those. 100%. Damn it. Real Juan. What's going on? Sure, sir, you missed it by like 10 minutes. I need you to remember I did just take a break. Or not a break, but I wasn't able to stream for a little bit. I'm feeling rusty.
A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued.
I'm feeling rusty. It's not my fault. What's going on tomorrow? Because today's a little boring. What's going on tomorrow? Ugh, God, tomorrow's boring too. No, we'll probably get a slight or something out here, but a little bit of a break. Probabilistic. Not much going on. Quieting. I expect. With how cool these waters are right here too, I expect the. Man, going into this weekend, next week, we could have a really quiet stretch of weather. If looking at chat,
New information.
looking at chat, it feels like I'm in sub only mode. I'm not in sub only mode, am I? I think TikTok is punishing me for TikTok is punishing me for taking a break from posting and streaming. So the only people I have in here are literally you guys. That is messed up. That is messed up. TikTok strikes again. I guess so. I mean, just strange how my viewership drops off a cliff when I miss like 2 days. Or a couple days.
Flood warning has been issued.
Yeah, I know. I know. TikTok's salty. It's messed up. Yeah, shadow ban. I don't know. My videos are doing okay. Like, they're not doing as good as they used to, but they're still getting like 7,000 to 15,000 views. But yeah, it's definitely they definitely get you if you like when I post consistently and don't miss streams. It's noticeable. And anytime I do miss a couple days of streams or posting, you just see that they don't suggest your streams to anyone. Can you please check Newman, Georgia? I'm hearing thunder and the sky looks sus. Did you spell that right? Oh, Noonan.
Warning. A new special marine warning has been issued.
Why can't I find this?
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Noonan. Oh, there we go. Nice. Yeah, I mean, you got some. Wow, these storms are moving quick. All right, guys, I'm gonna guess. Are you ready?
A new flash
45.
has been issued.
No, 50 miles per hour. The storm's moving at 50 miles per hour. That's a lie. No.
New information.
No. That's a lie. No. That's a lie. That's wrong. That's wrong. No. That's wrong. It says 20 miles per hour. That is a lie. These storms are flying. That is a lie. Look, this storm's moving at the same pace as this storm, and it says this one's moving at 35. Yeah, the radar's out of its mind right now. Yeah, Noonan, Georgia, you've got some storms out to your west and northwest. These are going to roll through soon. Not looking severe, not a super high cloud top, not expecting hail, maybe a little bit of wind, some torrential downpours for a little bit. 20 minutes maybe.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Thanks, B. Good idea. I'm thinking the Joplin area. Almost all I do is watch my area is going to see 2 or 3 days of severe weather around the 11th. We can take a look at that. Uh-oh. Someone's mad out there. We can take a look at that.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Nothing significant. Yeah, let's look at what the Euro sees moving forward. I got to take a look at the 500 millibar here. I did see there's a thought that we're going to see a little bit more action this before severe season's over up here. Nebraska, the Dakotas, Wyoming, Montana, northern Kansas, northern Colorado maybe. But like no one, like this area that I circled, like literally no one lives in. Right, chat? Like who the heck would live in the Dakotas or Nebraska? I mean, ridiculous. There's nothing up there. And it's freezing.
Severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
I'm joking. All right, let's check this out. All right, big ridge building. This is telling me heat. This is telling me heat. This is as the kids say, guys. This is giving heat. This is giving heat. Is that how you use that term? Is that how you use that phrase? This is giving heat. I think it is. Yeah, there's a ridge. There's the ridge. Look at that. 20 degrees above average in Chicago. Yeah, this is giving heat for sure. Interesting. That looks like severe weather clashing temperature type of pattern there. Let's look. 500 millibar. How many severe thunderstorm warnings are there going to be issued? I don't know. There's a lot right now, but there's only one considerable. They're all 60 mile per hour and inch hail, which is like your lightest level of severe thunderstorm warning. Other than, and let's see if it expired. Other than, no, it expired. So our only non-generic general severe thunderstorm warning is actually in southeastern Montana, moving through nowhere. There's a city out there called Capital that looks like it's like has like eight houses. So that's why I'm just covering what's to come real quick. No tornado threat. There's literally one hail threat that's over basically pea-size hail that's in Montana. And some 60+ mile per hour gusts possible. Here we go. Moving forward. Big ridge. Hot air. Hot air up through portions of the Mississippi Valley. Southern to central Mississippi Valley up there towards the Midwest. And Wow, our jet stream stays pretty far up to the north. We do get an interesting little kind of weak bowling ball trough out here to the southwest that could cause some issues through the panhandle of Texas,
New information.
Kansas, Nebraska. I'm not seeing this big threat up to the north except for, well, maybe here. Let's take a look at our low level jet. Yeah, you could see some issues out here. Thursday night into Friday. That's an interesting look. Friday night into Saturday. Yeah, I mean, this looks interesting for the end of the week into the weekend, this region, for sure. Moving forward, another, depending on what happens here, when you get these intense low-level shear this far north, it can cause some issues, especially because later, the reason you have a higher severe threat up north later in the season or the farther we push into summer is because you still have a little bit of cool air left up here that has the ability to clash with warmer air from the south. So your threat kind of typically starts here and then rotates here and then rotates here. And then, I mean, this is so far out, so it doesn't really matter, but this would definitely be a severe day here. A pretty decent one for Tornado Alley, but that's far out. We don't need to pay too much attention to that. Let me look at the GFS real quick moving forward. It does see, I mean, the GFS actually sees a pretty good look for, this is interesting. What do they have? What is going on Thursday night? What is today? Tuesday? This is our day 3. What does Pivotal Weather have for day 3? 1 second, guys. Yeah.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has
Really? That's their day 3? That's their day 3. If the GFS is right, that is they could be way off right now and they need to adjust that. Let's look at the Euro. I think we saw something a little bit. The Euro was a little bit farther north with this Thursday night event. I mean, no, like look at this. Interesting. Anyways, shear doesn't completely tell you if you're going to have severe weather or not, but it's pretty good. Listen, you get strong low level winds, especially southerly winds. This means moisture. Moisture means because you're getting moisture pulled off, sometimes off the Pacific. This would be moisture pulled off the Atlantic. Moisture means buoyancy. So now you have lift, you have moisture for condensing and fueling storms, and you have these winds up here. You have this shear. So let me look at the instability. Yeah, and look at this. I don't know. I'm shocked that their day 3 is is this. I'm shocked that they don't have something like this right now. Tomorrow, we'll see it. We'll see them change it tomorrow. I'm 100% sure. There's going to be a big expansion to this threat. I think tomorrow. I think we're going to see a big, yeah. That's wild. That's wild. What's the Rufus model showing? On unstable Cape. So Rufus doesn't show a ton, but it does show a decent amount of Cape up. Rufus has that Cape out ahead, which is interesting. Interesting. So the timing of our instability and could be a little bit off of our at least updraft potential. Let's look at our low level jet here on the Rufus as well. You see you've got this really strong low level jet kicking in Thursday night through pretty much Tornado Alley up towards the northern plains. But if all your Cape is out ahead of this, that could be an issue. I mean, not an issue, that'd be a good thing. Your ingredients aren't kind of timing themselves out right for an outbreak or anything like that. But to me, this is enough to put a risk zone, at least a marginal through this whole area. At least, if not a slight on day 3. Yeah, so, well, The timing of this right now, Leanne, looks to actually be
This severe thunderstorm warning.
the timing of this looks to actually be very late on Thursday. Like, but this is a late evening into the early morning of Friday type. If we see this come to fruition. Last thing I want to look at with this, because this is extremely interesting that they're not, unless this is all showing up new on the models. Like, look at the NAM 3K as well.
Thunderstorm warning.
Every single one of them shows this monster jet. I'm gonna call Matt. Let's call Matt and get his opinion. Oh no, Rochelle has his phone. We'll go take a look at the radar, what's going on. We've got another considerable damage threat guys out here in South Central Jersey.
Has been issued.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Tabernacle Township. This is moving up towards Manchester Township, Toms River, Bricks Township, Seaside Heights, which is Jersey Shore. So I'm pretty sure Seaside Heights is the Jersey Shore. So yeah, this is moving right towards that popular area there. So 70+ mile per hour gust. This is going to knock out power for a lot of people for sure. Infrastructure, especially out here, is not too good. So just get ready for that. Maybe some small hail as well.
New information. This special marine warning has been updated.
Yeah, Juan, I was thinking the same thing when I looked at that. The troughing doesn't look great past really beginning of this weekend, this weekend. But there's plenty of time for that to change.
New information. This
We'll see.
severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Orion, I appreciate it.
New information.
Am I
This
gonna have
considerable
to call Rochelle?
warning has been updated.
I think I'm gonna have to call Rochelle, guys. To get mad. NTX, I appreciate you. I'm gonna have to call Rochelle. 4 spices.
Your call.
Matt.
To reach is not may hang up.
Okay. All right. We're calling Rochelle, guys. I need to ask Matt. When I see something like this, I like to run it by him because it's a little bit weird, that setup for Thursday, that they don't have a larger risk zone. Matt's in here? I don't see him. All right. I need to speak with Matt. Hello, can you hear me? Matt. Did you see that Thursday jet stream setup, especially that low level jet cross kind of set? Yeah, well, no. It's looking right now Thursday late night, early into Friday morning, Central Plains up through the Northern Plains, like northern. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I mean, we've got some decent shear across the NAM, the Rufus, Euro, GFS, and instability's okay. Not super impressive, but I'm confused because the SBC has this little tiny marginal
A new
up
severe
in
thunderstorm
for day
warning has
3
been issued.
up in North Dakota. And I'm like, are they just completely... Yeah, take a look at it. I think the timing's going to be a little bit off,
Warning.
but...
A new special marine warning has been issued.
Yeah, let me know what you think about Thursday night. I mean, it like the 05Z. Okay, let me know. Bye. Jersey getting rocked right now? Yeah, parts of Jersey. Well, most of Jersey actually, yeah.
This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Most of Jersey.
New information.
Why is everyone saying what's going on?
Severe thunderstorm warning has been
Let's read the chat. Matt's still here? Oh, Discord. Never mind, I'm lost. Weather? Huh? Never mind. What's going on? I'm being cryptic?
A new special
How was I
warning
being
has
cryptic?
been issued.
Wait, I didn't even check if my volume was okay today. Check. I guess it is. You guys have been able to hear me this whole time. Because we're confused. Again, guys, Toms River, Manchester Township, Lacey Township, Seaside Heights, Bricks Township, everyone in between. You've got a considerable damaged thunderstorm headed your way. 7+ mile per hour gusts and small hail is possible. Not really a tornado threat out here, though. We can double check on the velocities, but yeah, you can see some strong winds in here for sure, moving up there to the north and east. Not too far from Toms River and Seaside Heights. No other major severe thunderstorm right now.
Special marine warning has been issued.
Oh no, a special marine warning. Large hail. Almost 2-inch hail up here. Southwestern South Dakota. Moving down towards Fairburn. We've also got some large hail up here. Southeastern Montana. And a little bit of rotation on here too. This is interesting. But I believe this is moving pretty slow. Yeah. 15 miles per hour. It's crawling. Not really over anyone right now. You were looking at the 5th, not the 9th? Yeah. I think that makes more sense. I would say I wish there was more to talk about, but I'm not wishing for bad storms. You know what I mean? How we do? Oh, we've got a couple different severe thunderstorm warnings now. This one extended up here through eastern Connecticut, Mansfield, Plainfield, Gillingly. General thunderstorm warning, 6 mile per hour, inch hail potential. Same up here. This is going to be approaching Boston in the not so distant future. I kind of want to look at some climatology stuff. I'm going to have to reactivate my Weather Bell subscription soon because yeah, I miss all the climatology information on there. I like doing long-range forecasts. Looking at my teleconnections. If any of you were around here during winter, you know I love my teleconnections.
New information. This flash flood warning has been updated.
But $80 a month. It's steep. It's steep for something that I don't use that often during the summer. Yeah, Flozzy. I typed it in on Google because I was like, is it Floozy, Flozy? Google said it's Flozzy. What have people been calling it online? Do you guys know? Because I haven't even heard people say the name online. But yeah, the internet told me it's pronounced Flozzy. Google AI told me it's pronounced Flozzy. Which is like the worst of, like, I think Flossy sounds cooler. I think Floozy sounds cooler. Flozzies? I don't know. Flossy. Yo, what's going on, Ray J? But here it is. Is that a girl or boy name too? Like, what? Someone help me out here.
Thunderstorm warning has been updated.
I don't even know.
New information. This
I
severe
you know, they have this getting up to potentially 130 mile per hour winds. I think we break. I think we break into the 140s. I think we get a Cat 4 out of this. What do you guys think? They actually have it at 127. Like they're just really, really don't want to predict a Cat 4. They had this thing not even reaching Cat 2 status 2 days ago, and I was like, that's an absolute joke. Not with these water temperatures and with this. There's no shear in this entire picture other than the shear being caused by the hurricane. There's zero shear up here. Look at that environment. So clean. You can see this. Look at this clean outflow here. Look how clean this outflow is, especially down here to the south. It's so nice looking. There's a little bit of shear. You can see it right here. It's not allowing for that clean outflow on the east side for those clouds to kind of feather out. So the only area being really kind of disrupted is this region, but it's moving off to the north and west. So it's actively strengthening while it's actively moving into a more favorable environment with less and less shear. And I guess the water temperature goes down, but the shear goes down as well. So the waters do get a little bit cooler. That's probably the reason they're thinking maybe it doesn't reach Cat 4 status because the temperatures drop a little bit with the ocean here. But I think it does. I think it has plenty of time. I'm gonna guess this thing gets up to at least, like, I wouldn't be surprised if we got a 140 out of this. 140 sustain. Yeah, no tropical tornadoes. Well, we could get you can see this little. Well, this is going to be interesting. We've got this is nothing. We've got this here. Oh my gosh, come on, tool. We've got kind of a low like right here that wants to get rotating. This wants to get rotating and pull this around and then maybe move up into the Carolinas. I don't know if it even reaches depression strength, although these waters are on fire right now. These are like the warmest waters anywhere in the Atlantic Gulf or Caribbean. They're right here. So, but you know, I think there could be something to this out here too. But you've got a little kind of a pocket of clean air in here because this is your trough. So if this thing can get wrapped around at all, maybe you get a super quick tropical storm that moves into the Carolinas. Maybe. Oh, Raymond James? Yeah. I like Ray J. Ray J's a cool name. I'm surprised based on the look of this low up to the north and the pull on this tail here that we're not actually getting more of a tornado threat. That we're not getting more rotation along this. It's clearly it's clearly it's clearly a low level issue. I can't speak. Not a mid or upper level issue. There we go. Spit it out, Connor. Because you can have some nice mid and upper level shear and have really nothing going on the surface. You've got to spin those. You've got to create some horizontally rotating columns of air at the surface to be able to tilt those up into tornadoes. And if you don't have strong shear at the surface, that shear loft isn't gonna trigger anything. So, but if I were to just look at this, if I were to look at this satellite and not understand what's going on at the surface, I'd be like, ooh, this is a big tornado day. But there's just not enough going on at the surface. Considerable damage threat. Thunderstorm still moving into slowly moving into Tom's River towards Seaside Heights, Jersey. Slowly but surely. Thanks for the 7 spices, NTX. Muchos gracias. I promise my Spanish is better than that. What about DC over the next hour? You guys are just going to get a bunch of thunder showers. Maybe not even thunder. Going to be a washout. Your severe weather's pushed off to your east at this point. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Um, yeah, I mean, the main, most of these areas are good now. I mean, Philly's kind of out of the worst of it. Baltimore's likely out of the worst of it. DC's out of the worst of it. We are getting some nice thunderstorms moving up towards Boston, though, right now. Providence could see some. So those are still pushing out to the east. Lots of general thunderstorms through here. Got a line of storms doing some damage. You can see this squall line here. It's not looking too much. You know, typically when you start getting into that considerable damage, severe thunderstorm, you start to see like a bow echo type of shape here. But this is just kind of a straight squall line. 60 plus mile per hour gusts moving to the southeast in Alabama. Some small hail. Nothing too threatening out here. Have these hail sizes increased? 2 inch basically. Well. What about Arizona? Some people have said the monsoon was coming this week, but I didn't see anything. Huh. A little bit of rainfall out there as expected. Remember, we're getting a ton of rainfall up here. There's flash flood warnings everywhere through portions of the mid-Atlantic. Yeah, let's look at pivotal for that real quick. What's going on? Total quantitative precipitation down here in the southwest. Not much in the near future, at least based on the NAM. I don't really trust the NAM that much, though. Yeah, NAM, Euro. I mean, maybe southeastern Arizona, but not seeing much. We can compare that to the American as well. No, not seeing much out there. Southeastern Arizona, again, potentially gets a good amount of rainfall, but not seeing much. Anything for Missouri? Well, as we were talking about, I will also have to see what happens once we push into Friday night. But this looks potentially like a Thursday night issue. West Missouri, and then who knows? You know, we could get this Friday night. We could see portions of Missouri getting involved in severe weather, and then maybe a little bit of a severe chance as we get into Saturday as well. I'd say if we're going to get severe weather, it's going to be late Friday into Saturday out there in Missouri. The GFS does have a decent low-level jet moving back into Missouri middle of next week as well. Why didn't that change? So, you know, this is our Friday, Saturday out there through Missouri. And then midweek we've got a low-level jet entering there again. Now, just because you have a good low-level jet doesn't mean you're going to get severe weather, but southerly flow down here, you're probably going to get some moisture up there and some convection. You're definitely going to be general thunderstorm, but I think you're probably going to marginal out here middle of next week too if this holds up. Probably a marginal to a slight for portions of central and northern Missouri as well Friday. How do you see the percentage for hail weather-wise? Just go to the top. Oh, you can't see what that's weird. I can't see it on that one. That's weird. You just go you go to the top, you go to your Outlook, your day, and then you click this and you go down to hail, and then you can click on it and you can see the percentage. 15%, 5%. Percentages are always the same though. You can see at the top too, 15, 5%. It'll always show the percentages that are on the screen. Yeah, I don't. You're gonna get a little something this weekend, I think, in Missouri. A little something, something. I don't expect anything too bad. No, not in Missouri. We could see a quite a uptrend through Nebraska. You know, through the central to northern plains. I think maybe through portions of Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, Kansas into Friday, but I don't know. There's not a huge target on other than like maybe northern Missouri right now, central, southern. None of these models are putting too much severe weather through that region late into this week, into the weekend. So more severe thunderstorm warnings out here for the mid-Atlantic. We do have a tour possible here, so we'll take a look at that. Not really a tight rotation here, but oh, they're seeing it right here. I see it. They're seeing it right there. So, I mean, I guess, yeah, I mean, if you're up here, Farmers Fork, Loretto, Leedstown, Leeville, Oak Grove, Virginia, just be aware you're in a tour possible. It doesn't look too ominous. A little bit of rotation, though. Tiny bit of rotation. This severe thunderstorm warning up here, central to eastern Jersey, has been downgraded just to a general severe thunderstorm warning and not a... my chat just disappeared. And not a considerable damage one. Okay. TikTok Studio just kicked me off stream.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Okay. All right. Okay, it just kicked me off. Yeah, I know. That's exactly what I'm talking about. It's consistently making it hard for me to stay there. It does this stuff all the time. Notice I'm never kicked off YouTube. This is exactly what I'm talking about. I just went back live again. I'm not going to be live for that much longer. You know, this is a pretty average day. These are hardly above general, you know, general thunderstorms. A lot of thunderstorm activity, but not a lot of significant thunderstorm activity. What happened? I'll explain when some people get back in here. Oh man, Red Bull. What happened is TikTok is just being TikTok, and it's TikTok Studio has all sorts of issues. No matter how many updates they give it. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get a tour out of this. Still tour possible. There is a little bit of rotation in here. It's right there. It's right here. Yeah. It's not too intense though. There was some right here too, but did they do that? Did they tour possible this? No, just this one. Yeah. Yeah, it kicked me off. My chat disappeared and I went to TikTok Studio and it was like, "Oh, you've been sitting on stream inactive this whole time." I'm like, "What?" So it I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, that is the only time I'm kicked off YouTube is when I lose power. Exactly. Well, anyways, I'll probably hop off. I mean, and I don't even know. Tomorrow we're not seeing that much. I think because what I'm gonna start doing moving forward is I'm gonna take off 2 days because I'm back full time at work. I'm gonna take off I think Wednesdays and Saturdays from streaming unless we've got like a hurricane making landfall or we've got like a big severe risk day. Then I will stream. So I'll probably take tomorrow off, and there's not much going on tomorrow. Not supposed to be too bad of a severe weather day for anyone. A little bit in the Ohio Valley, but Thursday I think is going to end up being more than what they're suggesting right now on the day 3. So I'll probably be on streaming that Thursday. It is going to be a late evening event, so I should be able to. And Friday's a holiday, so I actually should be able to do a long stream if Thursday does intensify like I think it may. Be able to cover a majority of that. Bland VA. What, Bland County? Yeah, you got some general thunderstorms rolling through there. Not too bad. It'll all be over soon too. No rotation out here. Not really seeing any major hail cores. Some little small ones. Maybe get some pea-sized hail, but nothing too bad. Just some heavy downpours, some thunder and lightning.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Let me see. Let me see. Sterling, VA. Sterling, Virginia. Weather-wise isn't loading the cities when I pull them up. Yeah, you guys are just got thunder showers for the rest of the night. Your severe day is basically over. East Michigan tomorrow. I mean, we can take a look at the daily simply for East Michigan tomorrow, our day 2. A little bit. I mean, there's a possibility for some light sprinkles. You guys aren't expecting too much bad weather tomorrow. Although I think this is off, I think, okay? Because their day 2, yeah, I think this is off. Weather-wise has been having an issue. Let me actually go take a look at Pivotal. Weather-wise, daily rainfall has been having an issue. Yeah, I mean, not much rainfall expected for tomorrow in eastern Michigan. Maybe a little bit up on the thumb in Michigan, but not a ton. No, I don't expect the tropical weather to be bad. I don't. Captain H2O. I don't think it will be. Not a problem. Florence, Alabama.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Not much going on up there. Could get some general thunderstorms in around an hour, but not looking too bad. Going into tomorrow, I don't believe you really have much severe weather threat at all. We've got you, yeah, not even in a general thunderstorm tomorrow or on Thursday. I don't expect you'll be on Friday either. Comes from Mass. Yeah, you guys have some severe thunderstorms rolling up your way. You guys got strong thunderstorms moving in, not labeled severe. This is just going to be strong thunder showers, and then your severe weather day is probably done because most of these are going to stay off to the east of you. So you've got some strong thunder showers, not thunderstorms, moving through, and yeah, heavy downpours, some gusty conditions. That's all you really should be seeing from this. Yeah, there's some thunder and lightning in there. Georgia's not looking terrible. We got no severe thunderstorm warnings in Georgia, but we do have widespread thunderstorms. So we could see some of these amplify a little bit later on. A little bit of a hail core down here moving to the northeast through Ashburn, Georgia. These aren't expected to be majorly severe. If we get any severe thunderstorm warnings out here, they're likely just going to be your general 60-mile-per-hour gusts, small hail. It's an overlay that I have, May, called atmospheric X. If you look up atmospheric X, you can get it. It's atmospheric X. It's an overlay. It's a little complicated. My brother, who's a computer engineer, software engineer, had to install it for me. It's I have to basically run a C script in the background. I basically have to run this in the background, and as things happen, this pulls information from the NWS, and then this is linked into my OBS, so it's a little bit complicated. But there is a video on Atmospheric X on the website that literally walks you through every step of it, which I didn't figure out until later. So, yep, just Atmospheric X. Everything that you're seeing on there, this is all directly from the National Weather Service. Same thing that they would be showing. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Greensboro, North Carolina. You guys are gonna have. Man, I appreciate that. Oh my god. Holy crap. Thank you, May. Seriously, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, you guys are gonna get Greensboro. You're gonna get some strong thunderstorms rolling through. It's not gonna be too bad though. You know, if we were to take a look, oh wow, 30 frames. What's going on here? If we were to take a look at our latest HRRR model, Greensboro, you could see strong thunderstorms rolling through all the way until 12:01 in the morning. They're not expected to be majorly severe. They're still holding you in a marginal zone. So gusty conditions, gusty conditions causing some potential power outages is going to be the biggest issue. I don't expect any, you know, maybe small hail. Tornado chances are pretty low. 1% to 0%, 0 to 1%, I should say. Yeah, no problem.
This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
Sweet Michigan isn't a marginal tomorrow, but barely forecasting rain. It's because there's the chance for some isolated thunderstorms that could do some damage. Although it's not coming with a lot of rainfall. It's not a big soaking system. I'll show you. You see how we start to get some scattered, some little tiny scattered cells. And then up here, these could be severe, but most of the state is still dry. Now this HRRR one actually wants to put a lot more rain, although it basically stops here. My assumption would be that these storms are moving extremely quickly. This is probably associated with, let's take a look. What is this? You've got a big upper level low up here. This is what's causing these thunderstorms rolling through Michigan tomorrow. So if you have thunderstorms moving at 50, 60 miles per hour, it's going to be you're not going to get a ton of rain from it, but you could get some really gusty conditions. I'm sure this is a wind-driven threat. But this HRRR looks like you'll get a decent amount of rain, so maybe they should change your rain forecast. Maybe that's the problem. One second, guys.
New information.
Let me move this
severe
off the screen.
thunderstorm warning has been updated. New information. This flash flood warning has been updated.
All right. Let me get back. Sorry, guys. Let's get back over to WeatherWise and look at what's going on live. Still got some strong severe thunderstorms rolling through eastern Connecticut into Rhode Island. Boston, you're going to see some thunderstorms here in a little bit. Most of our severe weather is moving off the coast in Jersey. You guys are good for the night. PA, you're pretty much good for the night. Most of Virginia is good for the night. We've got a squall line here with 0 severe thunderstorm warnings on it. We could get some. I shouldn't say Virginia's good. If you're back here, if you're behind this main squall line, you're good. We could still get, a lot of this is going to, the southern portion of this is going to dissipate before it gets out here towards Newport News, Norfolk, Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Suffolk. But Richmond, you could still see potentially some gusty conditions, a severe thunderstorm warning or 2 in that region. So, yeah, if you're down here in southeastern Virginia, there's still a little bit of I'd have weather alerts on still as we move through the night. How's the hurricane looking? Well, I think this hurricane has the potential to reach Cat 4 status just based on what's ahead of it. So, it's moving into colder waters, but it's also moving into a more favorable shear environment. There's very little shear out ahead of it. There's a tiny bit behind it. So, depending on how much cooler these waters get down off the southern coast of the Baja Peninsula, which now I really want to look at. They're still pretty warm there. Let's take a look at the actual temperatures. Compared to where the storm is, let me take a look. Oh, yeah. I think this has plenty of time. Sorry, I'm comparing these on my screen. 1 second. The storm's right around here. Our hurricane's right around here. So as I said, it is about to enter into cooler waters, but it's entering a very low shear environment. 25 degrees Celsius. About 80-degree waters. You only need about 74 to maintain a storm, 80 for development. So this isn't favorable for strengthening. It may be able to sustain through here, but it's not favorable through strengthening. So yeah, it's moving into a low shear environment, which is good for strengthening, but it's moving into cooler waters. So it has a little bit longer though. I think with this type of water temperature here, it's going to go through, or it is currently going through rapid intensification. It's going to continue to go through rapid intensification until it gets to about here. This is where the drop off in water temperatures comes. Oops, let me show you. Let me go back to Radar Mega. Until it gets to about here, this is where the drop off of water temperature comes. So it has all of this area to rapidly intensify. So it's already at a Cat 2. I think it might reach that 130 mark for Cat 4. Yeah, Connecticut. I was just talking about that. Yeah, Connecticut. You got a severe thunderstorm warning up here in the Northeast. So this is moving towards Killingly, Thompson, Woodstock, Putnam, Plainfield, Wyndham, Mansfield. General severe thunderstorm warning, 6 mile per hour winds, inch hail possible. Same out here. These storms moving out towards Boston. Nothing too major. No, Tufts. I went to school for meteorology for 3 years at Florida State. I didn't complete my degree. I ended up leaving, and I actually got a degree, funny enough, in sound engineering and music production. And then I studied weather on my own I've been studying it for a decade since I left. There was personal things that led to me leaving Florida State, so it was a long time ago, over a decade ago. So I plan on finishing my degree. I have about a year left of classes that I have to take to get my piece of paper, but it's just the money. It's just the investment right now that I have basically 2 full-time jobs, and I have a toddler and a newborn, so it's not the right time for me to complete it. But I will. I mean, I'm hoping within the next maybe 5 years. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed going to Florida State for it. Florida State actually has a pretty good history has a pretty good meteorological program. The guy who created Tropical Tidbits graduated from Florida State. I liked my classes. I liked my teachers, but stuff happens. Life happens. So.
Warning, a new special marine warning has been issued.
Are you still making an appearance on Evan Freiberger's stream? I plan on it. I was on vacation with family for like 5 days. I got back, and then Evan, obviously he's been having issues with his throat or something. He's had physical therapy I don't know what the story is, but I know his throat's been hurting and whatever, so he's having issues talking. And so between me and him, there's been a lot of we haven't, I don't think, been consistently on at the same times. So that's why, but especially during hurricane season, I think I'll be popping in his streams a lot to help him out with coverage. Yeah, it's been my passion since I was young. I started liking weather. I started getting into meteorology when I was like 6. My uncle's a meteorologist. I lived in South Florida and experienced like 3 different major hurricanes, and I really liked it. So I knew when I was in like 1st or 2nd grade, I was telling people that I wanted to be a meteorologist, and they'd be like, weatherman? And I was like, no, a meteorologist. I wanted to be a hurricane hunter. My dream was to fly into hurricanes, drop those barometric pressure readers, set it back, send that data back. I thought hurricane hunters had the coolest job in the world, so that's why I ended up going to school to Florida State for meteorology. New Jersey's doing okay. Most of your severe weather's offshore now, so you could get some more showers later in the night, but the kind of worst of your night is over. Ohio gets strong tornadoes every now and then. Not hurricanes, though, yeah. Ohio has had some pretty strong tornadoes. They're just not as... Ohio gets actually a lot of tornadoes. Not a lot of strong tornadoes, but they do get some strong tornadoes every year. What do I think about Orlando this weekend? We can take a look at what our projections are for Orlando this weekend. Let's take a look. What do the models think for this weekend down here in the southeast? Take a look at the Euro. Tropical moisture. Friday, weirdly, still moving from east to west. Friday looks to be pretty nasty, if I'm being honest. Saturday as well. You've got a low, you've got a low pressure just churning off to your east here. This is going to be funneling continuous rainfall. It's probably going to be a messy weekend in Orlando. That's a stalled low, not a stalled high, so to me, that doesn't look too promising. If we look at the total quantitative precipitation, pushing through the weekend too, yeah, it's going to be a rainy one. Where are you? Are you down? Vegas. Did you guys get a little bit of rainfall? Not really. Not much rainfall projected for Vegas. Maybe you get a little shower rolling through, but not much expected out there. Temperature-wise, you guys are staying pretty average over the next few days. Potentially some cool air moves in. Well, potentially some cool air. I mean, I don't know. Let me look at the NAM for this. Actually, maybe you guys do have a big cool down here. Oops, that's something I'm trying to look at. Oh, it's not gonna give me. It's not gonna give me anomalies. Let me go back here. Yeah, the Euro does have it getting pretty cold tomorrow, actually. Nice cool down for Arizona, Nevada, Utah, New Mexico, portions of Texas. Yeah, this is actually a nice cool down. Let's take a look at what's going on with the jet stream out here. I haven't paid too much attention to this. I've been fixing my computer and getting back to work. Yeah, you've got a little dip in the jet here. That's going to bring you some moisture, a little bit of moisture down there, and a little bit of cool air up from the north and west. So, yeah, and then you've got this kind of low just churning off the coast of potentially northern to central California. This is interesting. You could end up getting a few days of consistent rain out here if this is what happens. We get a stalled low out here.
New information. This special
Next week could be really interesting if this happens for the Southwest. We might see actually a decent amount of rainfall and some cooler weather. If you want it to be sunny and in the mid to high 60s year round, well, I was going to say move to LA, but LA's sunny near the coast and it's mid to high 70s. San Diego. That's pretty much San Diego, what you explained. San Diego, same. It's like low 70s, though. It's always sunny. I love severe weather, though. I would hate it to be... I hated it when I lived in LA. Got an EF0 last December. Tufts, I don't know where you live in Ohio, but there's so many tornadoes in Ohio every year. I swear. All right, guys. Well, I want to wrap up this stream. Not much going on. We have a ton of general thunderstorms. General thunderstorm warnings. Meaning 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts are possible with small hail. That's it. That's all we got going on. South Dakota, you got some kind of large hail going on out here to southwest South Dakota. A little bit worried about a little rotation here, potential near interior. It's in Buffalo Gap National Grassland, and it's moving. It's not really moving at all. It's just rotating to the north of interior. Other than that, there's really not a lot to talk about. So I'll be putting out another video early tomorrow morning. I think I posted my video this morning at like 7 a.m. Central Time or Eastern Time, so like 6 in the morning Central Time. I'll be doing the same thing tomorrow because I post before I go to work in the morning. Maybe I might stream tomorrow. I don't think much is going to be going on tomorrow. You can see our day 2 outlook. A little bit of a marginal up here through portions of Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, eastern South Dakota, and then Montana, Idaho, and eastern Oregon might get involved a little bit. But what was that? But I think it's going to be a slow day. I think what will be interesting tomorrow is to see the development of, to see if this starts to wrap itself up. So that'll be interesting. And I think tomorrow, this is going to, I think, rapidly intensify as we continue to move through the night. So I think we could wake up with the Cat 4 here as well. I think that might be a little bit of an interesting story tomorrow. How do we get this thing straight again?
New information. This special marine warning has been updated.
North Carolina.
New information. This severe thunderstorm warning has been updated.
I mean, you got some strong storms moving through Winston-Salem out towards Greensboro and Burlington right now, but nothing major. You can see there's lots of lightning involved with these. There's really no high cloud tops, so hail isn't really too big of a factor. You don't really see any sort of bow echoes or high velocities on our velocity map. So, you know, you could have some strong gusts, but not too damaging. And again, our tornado, we're not really seeing any rotation out here, so I'm not overly concerned about anything going on out here. Let me take a look down here. But you're gonna have some thunderstorms rolling through. A little bit of rotation up here to the northwest of Gaffney, South Carolina. So I don't know. Maybe watch that if you're in Blacksburg. This is moving out to the east. Blacksburg, South Carolina. A lot of these are just general thunderstorms, though. No, it wouldn't be a typhoon. It'd be a hurricane. Storms in the eastern Pacific and Atlantic are hurricanes. Storms in the central to western Pacific and Indian Ocean are, hi Fisher, are typhoons. And then storms in the southern hemisphere are cyclones. So these are cyclones. These are cyclones. So hurricane, everything that you would see, everything you would see right here would be a hurricane. Everything you'd see here would be typhoon, and then everything you'd see down here would be cyclones. Why? I don't know. They're all cyclones. They're all tropical cyclones. New Jersey's good. Severe weather's moved out. You've got some, you've still got some strong downpours, thunderstorms moving through central or into central New Jersey right now, but you're not going to, this is mainly going to be torrential downpours, which we do have an excessive rainfall threat out here today. So if you're in a low-lying area, be aware flash flooding is possible, but that's about the only threat here. I'm in southeastern PA in the Philadelphia region. All right, guys, I appreciate you. I'll be posting updates on the hurricane in the Eastern Pacific tomorrow on my page. I'll be posting updates on this and what I expect to happen with this potential tropical development. I think we could get a little tropical depression or tropical storm moving into the Carolinas. So I'll give you my thought on that tomorrow. I'll update you guys on the severe weather, rainfall potential, and temperatures tomorrow on my video as well. So that'll be up early, probably before any of you are awake, maybe 6 a.m. A lot of you probably get up that early, actually. Especially if you have kids. Confused Blonde, I appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, you go to bed at 6 a.m. I used to. When I was a bartender, I always did the late shifts, like 6 p.m. to like 1 a.m. and then I'd play video games till 6 a.m. and go to bed. And I got a 9 to 5. So, all right, guys. I will see you tomorrow. Later.